What is up, everyone? Grant here. We are live in BeamNg Drive. So let's just give it a minute here. Let me do a quick audio check, make sure everything's good to go, and we'll get started in a second. All right, we're good to go. So we are in BeamNg Drive. This is a kind of a physics-based simulator racing game, sorta. It's kind of endlessly customizable, and there are tons of different cars and tracks, and whole bunch of different stuff. Hold on, sorry, the camera all messed up there. So as you can see, we are in a ME262 as the label of this video. We're going to do some fun Hotlaps at Road Atlanta. So Road Atlanta is not stock to this game. So unfortunately, I could not get the time trials to work. So we will just be using a simple stopwatch. So I'll have that on another screen, but I'll be able to see the very important lap times. So, but there are loads of different vehicles in this game, and depending what kind of involvement we get, we can see what everyone wants me to do hot laps in. As you can see, I have a they have an integration with automation in this game, so you can actually design your own cars and kind of based off of real physics. So it's pretty fun, and you can do a lot of cool stuff. But these are some of the automation cars here you can see, and some of the more high detailed cars are the actual cars in BeamNg Drive. So it is kind of a funky name for a game. I don't really understand why they never gave it a proper name, but got me. So you can see some of the, we're going to be doing the T-80. They have the ATTE from Star Wars, from the prequels. Some of these are some of these don't work anymore. Some of these are like the Russian mods, like the rip-offs from other games. But they have a lot of fun stuff in here. So let's get started in the ME262. Get the timer going here. So currently I am using the mouse and keyboard. Normally I have, if you watched our other stream, I have a racing wheel setup, and you can see I already crashed because I wasn't paying attention. But you can see kind of the fun physics here. So we're just going to back up a little. And it's kind of got the, if you ever played Forza, it has kind of the same sort of system where you can kind of reverse in time. This car's going to be kind of hard to get through turn 12 there. Okay, so we're across the line. I am using the mouse and keyboard. Like I said, I thought maybe at first I was going to use the steering wheel, but I realized none of the key bindings would make any sense and I would be thoroughly confused. Alright, so my line is not perfect. Coming up to, oh, I want to clip the wing. Shit. A little too fast into the dirt. Now to climb up this hill in the 3 seconds of prep I did for this video, I noticed I had to give it a little bit of throttle going up. It's the hill there. You always aim towards that tree right up there. And then, just like in Forza, clip this turn, otherwise it's never going to make it. But as far as projects over the quarantine stuff going on right now, been working on the Mustang a lot. I just actually put a center hood vent in it, so it's got the full GT2 track spec hood vents hood kit on it. I actually took off the the fake hood scoop that's been on there for 12 years, and the paint actually isn't too bad. You can still it's noticeably darker underneath, but it and it is kind of scratched around where it was connected from, I guess, just like the vibrations over the last 12 years. All right, give some throttle here. I have one of the other things I actually just did was I got some custom laser printed emblems for the car, as I actually replaced the front grille on the Mustang with just kind of a plain old plain Jane grill, because the original grill on the Mustang, is designed for all weather environments, and you know, in like snow and stuff where you don't necessarily want a lot of airflow through the radiator. Hit the brakes. Screw this turn up and force it. All right, onto the straightaway. Be careful not to actually take off. But so the new grill I have is just to help with airflow a little bit, help the hood vents work a little bit better. I'll be posting pictures and stuff like that on my Instagram soon. Uh oh, 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 no, crap! Oh, no, 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 no! Oh, oh, not good. All right, so we're gonna cheat a little and hope the plane isn't a little too messed up. But I think we are going to be doing some more live streams with Drive Florida and their local group. Oh, too fast. I always blow through this, just like in Forza. We're going to be doing some Forza tournaments and stuff with them. Oh, bottoming out in the back there. Uh oh. I'm not sure if I can get it back on its nose. This may be a problem going into 12. Oh, crap. Can't see. I have to reverse. I can actually get past this. It's still stuck on the nose. Alright. I turned way too late. Let's see if I can get her back on the nose. Oh, yeah. And into the tire wall, just like my friend Tony. Wouldn't be road to land if he didn't crash on turn 12. So let me back it up. So, coming across the line, even though I've had to rescue myself 3 times. Let's see what it is. And then let's see what happens when you try and fly in a car racing game. Yeah, so that was a 6-minute lap. Oh, 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 oh. It's all gone bad. Okay, so let's switch to, we're gonna go back to the start, and we're gonna switch to the tank. Okay, so I think unfortunately tank doesn't make any noise. This is an old mod that still somehow works. This is not original to the game. So there was actually a cockpit view in the ME262. Oh, there's a little bit of a noise. Just remember what upshift and downshift is. That is gearbox behavior. Oh, I had it in arcade mode. That's why. Okay, so go into third gear. I think most tanks only top out about 50 miles an hour. But this should be a little less painful than the the World War II German fighter jet. I think one of my problems with racing is always hugging. I don't like to hug the outside line as much. I found it much easier with in our little Volkswagen GTI, because you sit in the Mustang. The Mustang's so wide, you sit kind of far away from like the road and the edge of the car, whereas in the GTI you kind of sit kind of towards the edge. All right, so towards the tree. Oh, I should have showed off the. Actually, it's kind of funny. The ME262 in the game has actually has weapons. They don't seem to do anything, cause any damage to the rest of the world, but it is kind of comical in a racing game. So is there a sixth gear? No, it's 5 speeds. Now, unfortunately, so for one of the big events we go to, if you see on this channel, one of our favorite events is Grid Life, and Grid Life South is usually at Road Atlanta. It had been there since I think 2016 or 2017, but unfortunately, I think it just became too expensive for the operators to rent out Road Atlanta. So that is not returning this August. And this August, they're actually going to be going to Pikes Peak International Raceway. So that's in Colorado, just south of Denver, actually. So I'm going to be flying out there this year as long as the world still exists and the event doesn't get canceled. But I won't have my car this year, but I'm hoping next year to kind of drive out there and to actually race at Pikes Peak International Raceway. It's kind of a smaller track. Doesn't honestly look as fun as Road Atlanta is, because Road Atlanta is just so historic and just a ton of fun with all the elevation changes and the complexity of it. Pikes Peak is kind of more like the local track that we go to, the Firm. This tank is extremely slow. Coming up on like 4 minutes already. But this game's actually, I think this game's been out for 3 or 4 years now. It's been one of those. If you're a PC gamer at all, it's been one of those early access games that's in early access forever. This is one of those games though that they update constantly, and I felt I've got my money's worth. I think I have like over 100 hours in this game. It's got no point, honestly. They added a career mode that's kind of silly, but it just messing around, crashing stuff. After this lap, we'll get in the Cybertruck, which someone has modded into this game with a Chevy V8, which is pretty funny, and we'll actually do some faster hot laps. Because this is quite painful. I remember the first time I went on the back straight here. Uh, I had just broken the first wing I had on the Mustang, and like a month before this event, so I didn't have a chance to get another wing, so I just didn't run a wing, but I still had a splitter up front, which I think it caused some kind of imbalance in the car, and the rear just got super light at speed, and I was coming up the hump right here, and the car got really light and almost came around. Definitely pucker factor moment there. Um, it wasn't too hard to slow down for 12 or 10A, 10B. But I definitely wouldn't, if you're, looking to get into track days, probably wouldn't recommend this track as your first track. I have a video up on the channel called Your First Track Day, Rolling Road Raceway. If you're in the southeast United States at all, that is definitely one of the best tracks to do as your first track. It's very, very easy. You really only need kind of maybe 1 or 2 gears. You can kind of just leave it in fourth gear probably the whole time, depending on your transmission. I know at least mine, I can leave it in fourth pretty much the whole time. But it's like 9 turns, and it's got a really fast straightaway. I don't know how long I think it's about half a mile, but it's super long, so you can get up to nice speed. Okay, so that was that was barely faster than the fighter jet. So at about like 5 minutes. All right, so we're gonna switch. We're gonna back up a little, and we're gonna switch to the Cybertruck. I'm gonna back up so I at least get a running start. All right. So a lot of these vehicles in this game have some fun like modified versions of themselves. So for instance, uh, the bus here, where's the bus? Has a flyable rocket powered version, and they have a rocket powered version that's indestructible. Oh, I always hit that. And like some of the older cars have loads and loads of variations. And what you can do actually is you can load up a base version of the car and modify it in real time with any of the parts that are in the game. So what I mean by that is you can kind of take like the um, the police car here, or let's actually do a better example here. Let's load up the where's the off-roading car. Yeah, so you can see they have basically Jeep Cherokee knockoff, and they have oodles and oodles of variations to it, and you can modify it real time. So you can take one of the dinky versions here. Hello, Vitor. So you can take one of these like dinky versions here, and vehicle configuration. So you can modify it in real time, which is a lot of fun because you can do wacky stuff. Like you can give this dinky car a, like a gigantic. I think this is the one, the supercharger, and you can actually kind of see the car, and it simulates the engine real time, which is pretty fun. So you can give it let's give it the race transmission. We'll give it some NOS. We'll do the ultra heavy long block. We'll give it the extreme NOS shot, which will probably blow up the engine immediately. And you can do, any which things to the car. So here, let's see. And if you haven't seen the really fun destructibility of this game, crash the car into the wall here. You can see what I mean. Crash! So, And you can see it gives you a little breakout, engine broken, front drive shaft broken. Oh, really? You can blow tires and stuff. You can see the transfer case here. But let's go back to the start and let's load up another one of the wacky vehicles. So, like I was saying, the developers of this game teamed up with Automation, which is like more of an educational game, and where you kind of design your own car with. Uh, it's not like it's like with data tables and stuff, um, but you can then import the car from Automation into this game. So they don't exactly come across looking like the prettiest car in the world, even though this is the Cybertruck. But so let's give it the proper color here. Give it. Yeah, oh yeah, there we go. Super chromy. So as you can tell, this this doesn't have the electric motor. Obviously, it's got a Chevy V8. This game does have electric drivetrains, but I don't know if they have that feature in Automation yet. So this kind of handles kind of like I expected it to, like a giant box that's heavy. I am using the mouse and keyboard, like I said, because the other vehicles have odd controls compared to the stock vehicles. So using the steering wheel, I would have gotten very lost. Let's put it in theater mode here. I can't really see where I'm going. Well, I blew that turn just like I always do. Okay, I went in theater mode. It's going a little bit too far away. Can't really see. So I know everyone likes to rag on the Cybertruck, but I don't know. I low key. Oh, I'm not paying attention. I actually really like it. It blows through 10A, 10B really good. I don't think I could convince my wife to get it as her daily driver. And actually, one of the reasons why you haven't seen me have a new car, well, really since my truck 3 years ago, is that I have been saving up to get a new car. And that is most likely going to be probably the Tesla Model 3 Performance. As much as I'd like another track car, my wife does need a new car, and that does seem to kind of fit the bill because it can, it's actually a really good track car. For at least the local tracks that I would probably take it to. I probably wouldn't take it to like Road Atlanta or something, but the tracks around me, do a couple hot laps. Hopefully they have a charger there, or else I'll have to tow it. But I think that would be a hoot. So no, Vidor, there's not a version of this for Android. This game, well, actually, the game I think is fairly CPU heavy. As you can see, it doesn't have the best graphics, honestly. Some of the other cars are more detailed. Obviously, I'm running these automation cars, which aren't very high detail. But we get into like the monster truck, and you can see some of the details here. But no, this is Windows only. It's on Steam. Uh, it's a pretty cheap game, honestly. It I think I picked it up for like 15 bucks, and I have like over 100 hours into it. So, and they keep adding stuff to it, and there's can I pull up the and there's like, if you go to, there's a mod repository here where there's just tons and tons of stuff you can download. You can, here's a piece of delivery skin for one of the vehicles, and there's just oodles and oodles of vehicles and stuff you can download. Looks like they actually added a boat recently. The boats haven't really worked that great in the game. And then there's tons of different maps and stuff. I mean, there's just pages and pages of new maps people have made. Alright, but I haven't actually gone over lap time in a while. So let's see how fast the monster truck goes around Road Atlanta. It's a realistic gearbox. Let's go. Ooh, pop a wheelie. Okay, 23:14 is our start. Oh, I spun out. Why is it suddenly locked? Jump the wall a little there. Save some time by cutting through turn 2 there. Into the S's. Rear steering is it's not very easy at high speed. Can't imagine why. Oh, death wobble. It's like a Jeep. Climb the wall here. And it's on fire. Well, it looks pretty cool. I did not mean to catch it on fire. I guess I hit the fuel tank. This is one of the aftermarket vehicles, I think, which is why the fuel tank being on fire isn't actually affecting it. Oh, no. Damn it. Man, I can't see anything. Oh, and now we're stuck. We're gonna have to, crap. As you can see, I accidentally jumped the wall at turn 12 and I am into the pits over on the support paddock. So that is a 3 minutes. Definitely an improvement over the jet or the tank. So 24:38 is the starting time for this lap. Let's see if I can. No. Alright, we're gonna try something else. Let's go back to the start here. Okay, so what vehicle should we try next? I think a jet-powered school bus. Which one do we want to pick, though? I think... Ah, yeah, here we go. This one's right up my alley. Alright. Okay, so toggle the jet-assisted... JATO is jet-assisted takeoff. Is T. This is why I'm playing with keyboard, because I totally would... Oh... Alright. We are starting at 27:56. Oh. Oh. Christ. Alright. Hit the rocket. Aim towards the tree. Into the S's. Is there a good inside view? Oh, there is. Alright, hit the booster. Whoa! Oh. So you can see the little alert coming up, brake fade. It's like, oh, really? Braking a bus from 130 miles an hour. That's right. So you can actually brake the transmission really easily when you turn on the rockets. Alright, turn on the rocket. Alright, I put it in neutral. Let's see. Whoa, boy. I somehow did not blow up the transmission. Oh, we are out of the rocket. Alright, so we crossed the line. That was exactly 3 minutes. That wasn't too terrible. Alright, so let's do one more lap before we call this quits. Just kind of want this to be a shorter stream. Back up beep. But we are going live on Saturday, or not live, we do have video that's going up on Saturday, an eBay coilover versus, beeping's annoying. eBay coilovers versus Coney set up on our GTI. So that video is going live on Saturday. It's a really good video, and if you've seen the BC racing video, I think Ash is it's a little nicer to Racelands, especially because we got them for free because the car had them already. We didn't buy them or anything, and if you wanted them new, they're only $400, and they were honestly just as good as the PCs, which are kind of terrible anyway. But okay, so why don't we do a realistic car last? Unless we have the big rig, the snowplow. But let's do something similar to a car on this channel. So we're gonna pick the Ibishu Covet. This one's street tuned. It's a lot lighter than our car. We're gonna go with this one here. And we're gonna, like I said, you can modify these vehicles real time, which is a lot of fun. So actually, we just took off the plasti dip wrap on our car, but I think most of you have seen the car in this configuration. So let's see. I think my best time in the GTI was like a it was like a 202 in real life at Road Atlanta. So again, I'm using mouse and keyboard here. It's a little bit more difficult. Oh, and this car doesn't have ABS, just like our real car. Going up the turn, aim towards the tree. You can hear the incessant clicking on my mechanical keyboard. Well, thank you for subbing. We're actually ending this video with in a normal car. We did, if you go back, we started off with the German fighter jet from World War II, and we did like a bus and the tank and the monster truck. Oh, not very good. So it was interesting when we took this car, the real life Volkswagen GTI on this track, which has an open diff. It, I don't know, autocross and stuff, it's kind of a problem, and it causes a lot of, not like handling issues, but it just kind of bounces around a lot. But out on Road Atlanta, it wasn't so bad, except for right here, 10A, 10B, when you kind of slow down. The open diff was just kind of like, ugh, very confused. Oh. I don't know how I survived that one. Yeah, that was like a 158, I think. That wasn't too bad, especially on mouse and keyboard. Alright, well that is it. If you guys like the format of this video, or you want to see me go around any of the other tracks in this game, you can see there's some other wacky vehicles. You know, there's like the B-25, which is oh, it looks like it has not been updated to this version of the game, as the textures aren't all working. So let's see, what else is there? There's the Avro Arrow, which is an old British bomber, I think. And keep in mind, this is a racing game, so, and there's even wackier things. I think I have the Apollo lander. Oh, there's a locomotive. No idea how that even works in this. I think you can actually put down tracks and stuff, because I'm not sure. Oh, this actually does turn. Yeah, so I think you need to actually put down tracks. Yeah, then there's loads of the automation cars. There's a Christmas tree, a wheel roller. You can spawn some just like funny objects and stuff to mess around with, smash your car up. This is actually one of the newer cars in the game they just put in, and they usually have like electric versions of everything too. And I just love all the variations they make with the cars. It makes it a lot of fun. But that's all I got for today. So let us know if you like this format or if you want to see anything else. We're going to be trying to do more realistic things. But right now, obviously, it's really easy to do kind of the sim games, do Forza, do wacky stuff like this. I'm probably going to be going over the Mustang, some of the more stuff I've been talking about in this video. I'll just do an overview, showing you guys what I've did. There's no real race events going on. Obviously, it's probably going to be at least a month or two till we get back into normal racing. So, thanks for watching and have a good day.